this incident this weekend that was brought to light changes everything. I think this seals the deal that this was a Fedsurrection and not an insurrection. And this comes after we learned a few weeks ago that there were actually not just 50 or 20 FBI agents in the crowd on January 6th, but 274 FBI agents in the crowd. They finally admitted that. So, this is looking really bad for the government. Like you, Grant, when I first heard about this case of the pipe bombs, I was there on January 6th, by the way. But when I heard about it, I just rolled my eyes and I was thinking, this sounds totally. I was already convinced it was the feds. When I saw this person walking, I felt like it was a woman. I never felt like it was a man, just by, intuition. Anyway, now we know that this person has a 98% match, like you said, to this Shawnee Kirkhoff, who was a soccer player in college, and now she's working at the CIA. They say in security, but who knows what that actually means.
Jim, are you like me under the belief that I don't think that if this is her, that I don't think she went rogue. I don't think she actually even set real bombs outside of this. I think this was all part of the concocted scheme, and I probably think she was taking orders from whoever was above her.
Absolutely. And what's interesting, too, is, we have friends in the FBI today. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel are friends of mine and yours. And Ed Martin has been a longtime friend of mine. He's from he lived in St. Louis for a long time. I know Ed very well. And yet we're not hearing anyone talk about this. This is a very big story. Why aren't they telling the American public something? I think we're getting very tired of this. We expect it when Joe Biden's is the president, but not when we have Donald Trump and friends of ours who are in the FBI and the intelligence department. So, we deserve to know more about this person and her role, if there was a role, in the January 6th, these pipe bomb incidents.
And no surprise, Jim, it has been absolute crickets from the mainstream media as well, because the mainstream media's narrative about J6 has completely collapsed. But the sad reality is, unless you're watching Real America's Voice or reading the Gateway Pundit, most of America still believes that January 6th was some kind of an insurrection, and it was craziness, when instead, really, as I've described it, was an unorganized tour of the Capitol by grandmothers and grandfathers. But most people don't know that because the mainstream media has continued to stay silent on all of this.
Absolutely. And Grant, that's interesting. You bring up the grandmothers and grandfathers. There's been several grandmothers a couple from Iowa, a couple from Missouri, who were arrested and had their house, raided early in the morning because they walked through the Capitol. And yet they were able to identify these grandmothers from Missouri, but not this person who was walking alone at night on her phone. It's very, very interesting. It always has raised several red flags.
Well, and when you really dig into it, there's edited surveillance video as well. And I think maybe they thought we never were going to figure out. There's portions that disappear on it. The whole thing just stinks to high heaven. And I think by you covering it, The Blaze covering it, Real America's Voice covering it, we put some pressure on our friends Bongino and Patel. I am still hopeful they will get to the bottom of it. So we shall see, and we shall also keep the pressure on. Jim Hoft, it's always great having you on.
Thanks, Grant. Good to see you.
Absolutely.